I was doing research into the Bronze Age, early Iron Age Mesopotamia and found a paper someone had published that contained a few hundred translations from various Mesopotamian tablets. The contents varied but provided a fascinating snapshot of life of the merchants, priests, nobility and slaves. One of the translations concerns a murder mystery. A local governor writes to his lord how the dismembered body of a child was found in the fields. Head, arms, and legs had been removed, and I believe they mentioned the internal organs had been removed and laid out on the body. The governor writes how the city's population is worried about the event and how he was struggling to identify the child or its parents, and writes that he continues his investigation into finding the murderer and the parents. In 1184, dozens of nobles of the Holy Roman Empire gathered together, led by King Henry VI in Hohenstaufen, in the city of Erfurt to resolve a land dispute. The meeting was held on the upper floor of a building, but there were so many people present that the wooden support beams gave way. About 60 nobles fell through the floor and the floor below it into a latrine that had been dug underneath, where they either died from the fall or drowned in liquid shit. The king of the Romans himself survived, because he had been seated in an alcove with a stone floor, but he did have a full view of what happened. As heir to some great noble lineages of Western France, he rallied to the cause of King Charles VII of France and waged war against the English. In 1429, he formed an alliance with his cousin Georges de la Trémoille, the prominent Grand Chamberlain of France, and was appointed Marshal of France the same year, after the successful military campaigns alongside Joan of Arc. Little is known about his relationship with her, unlike the privileged association between the two comrades in arms portrayed by various fictions. He gradually withdrew from the war during the 1430s. His family accused him of squandering his patrimony by selling off his lands to the highest bidder to offset his lavish expenses, a profligacy that led to his being placed under interdict by Charles VII in July 1435. He assaulted a high-ranking cleric in the church of Saint-Étienne de Mer-Morte before seizing the local castle in May 1440, thereby violating ecclesiastical immunities and undermining the majesty of his suzerain, John Fawn, Duke of Brittany. Arrested on 15 September 1440 at his castle in Machecoul, he was brought to the Duchy of Brittany, an independent principality where he was tried in October 1440 by an ecclesiastical court assisted by the Inquisition for heresy, sodomy, and the murder of 140 or more children. At the same time, he was tried and condemned by the secular judges of the Ducal Court of Justice to be hanged and burned at the stake for his act of force at Saint-Étienne de Mer-Morte, as well as for crimes committed against several small children. On 26 October 1440, he was sent to the scaffold with two of his servants convicted of murder. During the Salem witch trials, Deacon Giles Corey was accused and refused to plead innocence or guilty. In an effort to get him to talk, he was pressed. If you're unfamiliar, this involves laying a person down and putting basically a door-sized plank on them, and slowly adding heavy weight to it. In response to the crushing weight of the rocks, he famously replied, "More weight." The good deacon is said to be buried in an unmarked grave in the same cemetery this happened in, which I can see from my house. There is no shortage of books, articles, poems, or essays about the trials and the victims. A quick Google search will send you down one rabbit hole to another.